Hello, this is the Trade Site U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Monday, the 14th of January, and ending Friday, the 18th, 2019. By the way, next weekend is a three-day weekend. The stock market's closed on the 21st for Martin Luther King holiday, so Friday might be a little light because of that. It's also going to be light because it's expiration already. Stock options expiration on Friday. Not a triple expiration, but it's still an expiration. So between that and three-day weekend, I would expect Friday to be very light. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market and futures form. We're back above the 10 EMA, but this is the resistance area, right? Look at that 2600 level that we hit in late October and hit again in early December, finally broke down, and now this is the retest of that level. If we fail here, by the way, it also carries back. It was support back in May, so it's a key level. If we fail here, from a charting perspective, it's very negative for the market, so just be prepared for that. Let's go through the daily charts of the major indices, then we'll look at the intraday action in the markets from this week, or the intra-week action, talk about the economic data coming out ahead. So crude oil back up a bit, but still only at 51.70. Remember, this dipped down into the 40s. Gold up 50 cents. This has been on the rise. 1287.90. S&P cash index loses 38 cents. NASDAQ 100 down 19.54. The stocks gains 11.64. Not a big deal. The biotech's up 3.24. Russell 2000 gains $1.95. The VIX loses $1.31 back to 18.19. That's almost the low since early November. Trend 0.94, the 10-day moving average of 1.1, but there's some big numbers that are going to drop off that 10-day soon, so we'll see what that means. Nasdaq volume 2 billion shares. That was the lightest day of the year so far, and except for the Christmas Eve holiday, the lightest day since early December or late November even. So just that was not a good volume day on Friday. Advanced decline ratio on the Nasdaq plus 352. The 10-day moving average sitting at highs for the last year. Plus 405 on the New York. Again, the 10 days sitting at highs. But Google loses 14.36. Apple loses $1.51. Netflix gains 12.93 on a gap up, coming back a bit. Amazon down 15.66. Tesla gains $2.29. This thing held in pretty good. Facebook down 40 cents, but still up from where it was around Thanksgiving. Goldman Sachs at 93 cents. This thing got beat up for the last year. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 47 cents. But remember, there was a 13 sell signal there 2 weeks ago. So far, that's been right on the money. The Dow just down 5 points. We don't watch the Dow, but that was certainly useless when the Dow's just up or down 5 points. Let's go to 10-minute candles on the ES just so you can see. So Monday, flat opening, pushed higher. Pulled back a little bit late. Tuesday, gapped up, filled the gap, and then came back up to about where we opened. Wednesday, gapped up, filled the gap. Remember, 80% of gaps fill the same day. So we had 4 gaps this week, and they all filled. So there's your statistic right there, right? Wednesday, the gap up, filled, closed right around where we opened. Thursday, gap down, filled, and actually closed higher. That was the high close of the week. Friday, gap down, filled, and basically closed about even. So a positive week there on the ES. NASDAQ side, look at how flat. Wednesday through Friday, just dead flat, nothing. Closed right where we opened between those 3 days. So it wasn't the most exciting week. It's not a great start to the year from that perspective. I think the first week of the year was better. But we had some nice stuff like NVIDIA on Friday and stuff like that. So you just got to be picky if the market's not doing much. Nothing else you can do. In terms of economic data coming out this week, Monday, nothing. Tuesday, PPI at 8:30 along with Empire State Manufacturing Index. IBD tip economic optimism at 10. Wednesday, import-export prices, the NAHB housing market index, crude oil inventories an hour in, beige book at 2, tick long-term purchases at the close, the G20 meetings start. Thursday, Philly Fed manufacturing index and unemployment claims, that's the weekly number, an hour before the bell, natty gas an hour in. The G20 meetings continue, and then Friday, capacity utilization industrial production at 9:15 a.m., preliminary University of Michigan sentiment at 10. The other thing I would say is that this is options expiration week already for January. It is not a triple expiration. It is a single expiration, which means it probably won't be much, but if we get an options unraveling move, it could happen on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And then the thing to really focus on is the fact that Friday is expiration. It should be boring, and it leads into a 3-day weekend for Martin Luther King the following Monday. We're off. Markets are closed. So Friday's going to be a bust. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great Trading